Being overprepared is impossible. And other mottos. By Please Dial 123. Chapter 10. Dead Men on the Bridge. So, what have we learned? Kakashi asked in the dead of night, a small lantern set on the ground between them. Sakura unrolled a map of wave between them all, and Naruto leaned eagerly forward, a pen in hand.
Gato's got warehouses here, here, and here. He's also got control of the shipyard and has an office there that's swarming with mercenaries.
His own base, Sasuke grunted.
Yeah!
Naruto nodded.
He has a ship there, too, that's just his and not his company's.
Good. Wave is a small island, Kakashi said, and seizing shipping ports is the best way to put a chokehold on the economy. How is he doing that?
He controls outgoing and incoming shipments, Sakura says. Maybe not the vessels, but with taxes when they land.
So why is there no food coming in? Kakashi asked her.
Because the taxes are too high. People are skipping this port, Sakura said. He's choking out the competition, so only his ships will come here afterwards and have a monopoly. Supplies will become more common again then, but first he's monopolizing.
Legally? Kakashi raised a brow. No, Sasuke snorted.
I mean, the daimyo guy really isn't doing anything to stop him,
Naruto said, scratching his head.
Since Gato isn't stopping any of his ships or supplies.
Courts never care for civilians, Sasuke snorted again.
So Wave will be in a depression until the shipping war is over,
Sakura concluded. Does Konoha have any stock in Wave? Kakashi asked.
No,
Sakura said bluntly.
We don't get anything from them we can't get elsewhere. It's why we haven't heard of the problem or seen a rise in any goods or prices.
Wave is pretty small scale, Kakashi agreed. If it were any bigger, we would have felt it, but Gato chose correctly. Now onto the problem of Zabuza and his accomplice, if they're still alive. Gato must be paying him a fortune to work for him and come after us. How do we deal with this? Naruto was frowning at the map thoughtfully. Sasuke was pushing a stick through the dirt in battle plans, and Sakura was squinting at Kakashi as if trying to find a trick question.
I got an idea,
Naruto finally said, turning to grin up at them. Let's hear it then. Kakashi smiled. In the cover of night, their small lantern glowing over their map, there was no one to listen to Naruto's idea or Kakashi's laugh. Kakashi batted Sakura's strike out of the way, redirecting it carefully, knowing how hard that hit was. He had learned not to block her blows unless his was braced. Out on the waves, Naruto was facing one of his clones, learning how to grapple better on the rolling surface. And it gave Naruto more chakra control practice, which the boy needed in larger doses more frequently than the other two. In the bushes, Sasuke was running from a clone, practicing how to hide. It was an exercise in patience for the boy who liked to meet opponents head-on. You overextended that punch, Kakashi said idly as Sakura lunged at him. She huffed but straightened her next stride, followed by a leg combo that nearly caught Kakashi. Good, he encouraged. They moved quickly across the ground, Sakura not backing off the offense for even a minute. Sakura wasn't a stamina freak yet, but she was a powerhouse, so she hit hard and fast, hoping to wear an opponent down before they wore her down. It was working well for her, and Sakura's confidence grew in leaps and bounds with her hard-hitting taijutsu. Sakura, the softest of his students, the civilian-raised girl with candy-floss hair and a face still chubby with baby fat, looked good, wreathed in violence. It straightened her spine, focused her gaze, and set her shoulders straight. She was a different girl when she was trying to collapse his ribcage, and Kakashi was very proud. Sasuke came spinning out of the bushes. Kakashi's clone hung on his trail and leapt over Sakura and the real Kakashi to disappear into the bamboo grove. Kakashi saw the faint shaking of the bamboo even as his clone winked at him and went after the boy. Kakashi smiled as he dodged a punch and reflected that Sasuke was getting much more quick and agile. His little aloof student with an attitude problem was coming out nicely. He just needed a calm authority figure who he could rely on. And Kakashi would be there for him, to reassure him. Naruto, on the other hand, was flourishing just being around other people. Kakashi knew how isolated Naruto had been, while Sasuke had been isolated for by choice. He still had memories of family to fall back on. He had shopkeepers who smiled at him and people who would bend over backwards to help the last Uchiha. Oh, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't as desolate as Naruto's position. He was not isolated like Naruto was, not just from people, but from positive emotion. Naruto, for a boy treated like dirt and left to grow on his own, had turned out shockingly well-rounded. and under Kakashi's care and his team's closeness, Naruto was growing like a weed, improving in leaps and bounds and blooming. Kakashi was ridiculously proud of them all. Kakashi was reading his Ichi idly when he felt Zabuza approach. He sighed. A perfectly good reading moment interrupted. He so rarely got a moment alone with his book these days. He snapped it shut and tucked it away, straightening from where he had been slouched on a beam. Naruto was already herding men away from the fog that was rolling in. They had started early today, eager to get more work done, and there was usually fog, but this one was thickening instead of dissipating with the sun. Naruto and his clones got everyone off the bridge, even as Sakura and Sasuke drew Tazuna between them. Tazuna was a prime target, and this scene would probably get messy, but better he was closely watched than out of sight. Naruto, send a clone running back to Tazuna's to check on his family, Kakashi called.
Already have some there!
Naruto hollered. Zabuza loomed out of the mist, the fake hunter nin by his side. Why don't we make this easy, Atake? He called. You give up the bridge builder and we don't have to fight.
Kakashi snorted.
That's what I thought. Zabuza grinned. I've been wanting a rematch. I go get the kid. Kakashi twitched, but forced himself to relax as the hunter-nin went spiraling towards his students. Naruto intercepted and gave a holler as he kicked Haku out of his path. Sasuke broke off from Tazuna to help while Sakura kept a defensive position. Keep him busy, Kakashi ordered. I'll help after I deal with Zabuza. Not if I deal with you first. Zabuza grinned. And don't underestimate Haku. Kakashi lifted his headband to reveal his spinning Sharingan. Well, I'm not. I'm just thinking my cute little students outnumber him. Zabuza snorted and swung his sword off his back. Kakashi had a plan, of course. They all had a plan, and he had drilled them on it in case Zabuza hadn't been as dead as he seemed. Kakashi had had too many incidents of fake deaths and an old enemy at his back to discount such things. Let's go, Kakashi grinned. His hands flattened against one another, and he flashed through signs too fast for most to see. He turned to an art he rarely used, but was much more powerful, backed up by the Sharingan. Genjutsu, Zabuza hissed as the world wavered. I hate that bullshit. Let's go with good old swords and fists. He smashed through the first Genjutsu, flaring his chakra, and Kakashi was forced to dodge a swing of the sword. He sighed. So little appreciation for the mental arts. Ah well, he'd give Zabuza what he wanted. Kakashi drove into the mist willingly and began a dance, with Zabuza keeping a close ear on his students' fight as well. Zabuza was an A-rank missing nin for a reason, S-rank in Kenjutsu alone. But Kakashi was of a similar breed. They were both monsters, and Kakashi had honed himself recently. It was also an entirely unappreciated fight, hidden by mist and done alone. On the edge of his senses, Kakashi could feel the faint body of people approaching on a boat. He was sure Zabuza could feel them as well, but they had no concern for civilians as they traded blows. Kakashi layered light genjutsu on Zabuza, feeling it only fair in the senses dampening mist. They exchanged light banter with heavy blows. Why are you so interested in Tazuna anyways? Kakashi asked at one point, trying to sound out where Zabuza was hiding on the bridge. He usually didn't care for the enemy's reasoning, but in this instance, it was odd to see an A-rank missing nin going so hard for his throat over a civilian id. Gato is paying me more than well for his head, Zabuza's voice echoed. Kakashi replied, even as he dodged a slash and tumbled after Zabuza, kunai flashing. There was tinges of blood on his blade, and Kakashi smiled at his opening. With a quick summoning, he had a growling pack with Zabuza's scent in their noses. Let's finish this. Kakashi smiled at the mist. The hounds all howled and darted into the mist. Kakashi followed them, lightning chakra pooling ready in his hand. And when he heard the crunch of teeth and flesh and bone, he lit the spark, the sound of 1,000 chirping birds filling the air. The mist started to clear as Zabuza released the jutsu and tried to see the angle Kakashi was coming from. Double-edged jutsu and all that. The mist cleared in time for Zabuza to see Kakashi with his fist raised and wreathed in lightning. Kakashi could hear his students end their scuffle, even as his eyes tunneled in on the enemy. There was no last-minute witty words or last-minute saves. Kakashi sunk his arm up to the shoulder into Zabuza's chest. The boy Haku, pinned by Sasuke and Naruto, screamed a shrill, broken noise. It was an animal noise of pain as Kakashi let Zabuza sag and fall free of his arm. Sasuke and Naruto didn't look away, respectful as Kakashi's opponent fell to the concrete. The boy in their arms was limp, making wounded moans. "Kill me," the boy sobbed. "Please just kill me." Kakashi shook his arm once, splattering blood on the ground, and looked at Haku for a long moment. "And why would I do that?" he asked blandly. "Please just let me join him," Haku choked out. "Huh!" a voice joined the crowd. "I'll do that for you, little brat." Kakashi glanced over at the end of the bridge to find a small gathering of mercenaries bristling with weapons and headed by a short man in a nice suit. "Seems the demon of the mist was really no demon at all," the man sneered. "Couldn't even beat a team of kids and their teacher." Kakashi smiled at the man blandly behind his mask, but Gato didn't seem to register the threat. "Now hand over the bridge builder and get the hell out of my country," Gato ordered. "And if you give me the boy, I might be nice enough to let you leave alive and uninjured. You did me the favor of killing Zabuza before I did, but that only gives you a small amount of mercy for your interference." "Ah," Kakashi said blandly. "The old have them do the job and then kill them so you don't have to pay them ploy." Gato laughed in agreement, and Kakashi could see Haku stiffening in anger. "So you weren't going to pay them?" Kakashi asked again. "Just to be sure, I want to know if you were going to break the contract." "Of course I was," Gato scoffed. "It's business, boy." "Hear that, Zabuza?" Kakashi smiled. "He was going to betray you." Every eye went to the body slumped and bleeding and dead. It didn't even twitch, and everyone slowly looked back at Kakashi like he was crazy. Kakashi raised a hand and dismissed the layered genjutsu with a single wave. He covered his Sharingan a second later, feeling the drain from holding that layer of the genjutsu up under the lighter layers he had allowed to be caught and dismissed. The body of Zabuza wavered and vanished like a mirage. In its place was the real Zabuza, sitting with Kakashi's dog still holding him down and a glancing blow of the Chidori across his side. Kakashi had pulled at the last second. He kept the man pinned, of course, just in case things hadn't turned out like he had anticipated. Zabuza must have seen something was up because he hadn't tried to disrupt the genjutsu or fight too hard against his dogs. Now he looked murderous. Haku made a noise of relief so deep, Kakashi felt it echoed in his bones. "How did you guess?" Zabuza growled. "No guessing about it. My cute little students and I practiced some infiltration." Kakashi's eyes smiled. Naruto had a good plan on how to break Gato's stranglehold on Wave. Had to make sure he wasn't a big enough threat to derail our mission after all. First, we needed to make sure you wouldn't be an issue, so we broke into his offices and stole a bunch of ship deeds. Then we stole all his business plans. And then we decided Gato really needed to go. We thought we'd give you first dibs, though, as the betrayed. We made sure to leave your broken contract and your fees tucked away nice and safe in his office. His students looked pleased with themselves. As they should be. They had done very well on that little adventure, and Kakashi had some important documents tucked away for Sarutobi's view. Zabuza looked faintly pleased at the dibs and fees part. With a displacement of air and smoke, Kakashi's hands vanished, letting Zabuza straighten. Kakashi hopefully picked up his sword and offered it out to the man. "We don't have any issues now, do we?" Kakashi asked pointedly. "None," Zabuza said flatly. Sasuke and Naruto let Haku up, and the boy scrambled for them, eyes bright and alive, as he looked at the mostly uninjured Zabuza. "Let's take out the trash, Haku," Zabuza said gruffly. "Yes, sir," Haku said eagerly. Kakashi retreated back to Tazuna's side with his students and watched the ensuing bloodbath.
"My glove popped over at Tazuna's house," Naruto reported, "and headed off some of the mercenaries. There's a mob forming in the town, but we should be done before they get here."
"Good job!" Kakashi ruffled his hair. "All of you! You stuck to the plan."
"Haku was tough, but we beat him together," Naruto cheered.
"It would have been easier to kill him," Sasuke muttered. "Perhaps," Kakashi allowed, "but then we would have had to deal with the mercenaries, and Konoha has never had trouble with Zabuza. Sometimes it is a mark of a strong shinobi when you can let an opponent live instead of killing them. Sasuke mulled this over as Zabuza and Haku finished off the last of Gato's men and then beheaded Gato himself. Tazuna was whispering prayers behind them, but they ignored him. I guess we owe you some thanks, Atake. Zabuza grunted bad-naturedly as he shouldered his blade. Kakashi said. No need. You've got a cute kid there. Not my kid. Zabuza huffed. Kakashi raised a brow at him, and the man looked down and away. Really dedicated, Kakashi said, and strong. He's a good student. Yes, Zabuza finally agreed. Look after him. Good students are hard to find, Kakashi said. Zabuza snorted. Let's go, Aku, Zabuza said. We'll collect our fee from his office before the mobs get it. Yes, sir, Haku beamed. As they headed off, Haku turned to give a wave that Naruto returned enthusiastically. I don't want to know, Kakashi sighed, seeing a story there.
I met him in the forest the other day while training. We talked about precious people. Naruto grinned. I thought he was a girl.
I said I didn't want to know. Kakashi rubbed at his forehead.